Yes, you are reading that correctly. We are in Master 5. Welcome back Duel'S to the channel here at RevYGO, where we talk about everything that is indeed Yu-Gi-Oh! Today, I have a very crowning achievement. Master rank, again, I don't care about Master 1. I could care less. The fact that, started back in Gold 5, climbed up into Platinum with Branded, and then when Snake Eye came out, figured to test it out, do some things, because TCG is way too expensive, but in Master Duel, maybe it's a bit more manageable, and it got me into Diamond, and then just while I was at work, just played some Master Duel here and there, and bam, Master 5. This was incredible, and even looking at the win-loss ratio, like this, again, the deck just does so much, and like I said, like 8 turns, 6 turns, there are some incredible duels here, especially the final duel I have for you guys right here, which was both my opponent and myself we're going to, oh wow, he was actually running Bestials in this. That's a bit of a spoiler for later on. Super Heavy Samurai, his deck, versus my deck, Snake Eyes. The fact that we were both on our rank up into Master, we were playing our absolute hardest. It was a fun final duel. But before we get into the replays of the deck, we're going to show off the deck. This is, when I was doing the ranked sessions in Platinum into Diamond, I tweaked the deck one final time, and this was the deck list I ran from Platinum 2 onward all through Diamond into Master 5. I didn't do any changes that I know of. This is the final version of the list. It's pretty standard from the other video that I had. I think it's the same list, honestly. There might be some different tech options. I'll explain through whatever changes that I thought were necessary. But we have the Cyframe Gamma package, 2 Gamma, 1 Driver, 1 Veiler, 3 Droll and Lockbird, Necessary Evil, Get Synchron, 1 of Magician Soul, 1 of Snake Eye Ash Triple, 2 Oak, 1 Birch, 2 Poplar, 3 Maxi, 3 Ash, 3 Diabellestar, 1 Flamberge Dragon, 1 Feather Duster, 1 Lightning Storm, and 1 Cosmic Cyclone for back row removal specifically. I didn't want to load up too much on back row removal or any other thing that was non-engine, because that would risk running a brick, which I think I even put in like 2 Cosmics or 3 Cosmics to bring into like 42, 43, I was not seeing enough. So these are the ratios I'm happy with. We have 2 Where Arf Dows. There is a argument to run 3. I was just running when I first did this list, I was running 3, brick too much, cut it back to 2, and it's just as good. 1 Original Sinful Spoil Snake Eye, 1 Divine Temple of the Snake Eye, 2 Call By, 1 Crossout Designator, Triple Wanted, and 1 Imperm. Like I said, you can take out the Imperm if you want. I leave it in just because it does come up, and in that final game, it absolutely came up, and I will show you exactly what I mean. Extra deck consists of 1 Formula Synchron, 1 Baron de Fleur, 1 Link Rebo, 1 Sunlight Wolf, 2 Hida. I'm running Win as well as Asa in this. Specifically why these 2 is because you get max seed, you're up against other decks that have Earths as well, so they are extremely situational, and I think I made Win like maybe once because an opponent drolled me, which was totally fine. But you're going to be making probably Dark and Hida way more, but it's nice to have these 2 options. 1 IP Masquerena, 1 Celine, 1 Promethean Princess, Bestower of Flames, 1 Amphibious Swarm Ship, 1 Appaloosa, and 1 Access Code Togger. This list I wouldn't change for my playstyle. You guys can absolutely take out tech cards like, the Duster, the Lightning Storm, and the Cosmic for whatever you want. Maybe you want to run like, I don't know, maybe you could add on more Veilers because they're level 1s. So in a pinch, normal Veiler and use Original Sinful Spoils on it, or normal Veiler or any level 1 and get Where Arf Thou. You could pretty much do a lot of things. I just decided to do more back row removal and spell and trap removal because in Platinum, it was just the floodgates. The floodgates with Runic, and you also had Labyrinth, so I needed a way to remove things. Granted, I think I barely saw these, but it is what it is. So let's go into some of the replays here. Honestly, I want to start with, I'm going to show you guys like in this video specifically, it's going to be like the 8-turn duel, the 6-turn duels, and anything above 3 turns, because that's when it gets really grind gamey, which is really fun with Snake Eyes. This one wasn't so fun. An 8-turn duel against Zodiac. Literally had everything to pin my back against the wall, honestly, and the comeback is amazing. But that's all I'll say into it. Let's get into the duel, shall we? Now with Zodiacs, you gotta remember, their main goal is to get Trident alongside Zeus long game to just wipe away the board, and then you have nothing, so they just Zeus beat down. Or Trident control, if anything. But before this replay starts, if you guys like the content, be sure to hit that like button and also subscribe for more, honestly, because I'm having fun with this. I didn't anticipate Snake Eye being a very fun deck of mine, and it's really making me consider playing it in the TCG if the prices go down. Which, at this moment, we're in a fire format, it's not going to go down. So starting hand isn't looking like the best. They're going first, obviously, and we have 2 Ash Blossom, we're Arfdal, Lightning Storm, and Divine Temple. Lightning Storm is a yes. Now, of course, Zodiac is doing Zodiac things. They get into their Trident, set 1, pass. Pretty standard. And there's the Maxi, a little too late. Lightning Storm get rid of the Trident, so that's no longer a problem. Divine Temple gets us Poplar, and we had nothing because there was no way we couldn't wear Arfdal. There's the Ash and Maxis were dead in our hands. We were pretty much dead in the water at that point. So we decide to Maxi, and they Ash Blossom us. And that was their top deck, mind you. That is unfortunate. Well, we're only turn 3 of 8. I'm thinking they have nothing, right? Nope, they have a Trident. They have a Zodiac. But then we have Divine Temple, which we can special our Poplar. Quickly negated by Imperm. That's not terrible. We don't die off this, but then Talents, they draw 2. Or, no, they decided to rip a card, which is where Arfdal. Best choice, honestly. Now we're going to climb. I think this is just battle phase, and then we're going to climb into Zeus. And when I say climb, I mean climb. 2 materials, 3 materials, 4 materials, 5 material, and I believe this is a 6 material Zeus. And they wipe the field. Spend no time with that, so I have a 2 disruption board wipe Zeus. And they have 1 card in hand, so we just go ahead and go for it. Diabellestar pitching an Ash. Diabellestar will search, give us original, and this is where they Zeus me. This is where the fun begins. Since I didn't activate original Sinful Spoils, I can still activate it in the graveyard, banishing itself, targeting the Poplar. Another Ash Blossom. Lovely. You can see how this took 8 turns. So I have a singular Ash Blossom, and they still have another board wipe, but they don't have any way of extension, so it's just Zeus to attack mode, putting me on a 2-turn timer. So we have Wanted. Wanted's going to grab us another Diabellestar. And we're going to banish our Wanted to go for the original put back to draw 1, called by, summon the Diabellestar. We're just going to keep going. We're going to keep going, set the original. This is where they Zeus us again. Or I'm actually going to force out the Zeus because they didn't activate it like last time. They're like, oh, I'm not going to Zeus you now. I'm going to wait till you original Sinful Spoils. Which, at that point, no, actually that would have been detrimental. You would have gotten the summon off of that with Ash and then search with Poplar. Maybe he could have Zeused me there, but I wanted to put the Ash Blossom in my hand to good use, so normal summon it to make a Baron to force out that Zeus. And then this is where, of course, the plays happen. Original Sinful Spoils to get our Ash, but we normal summoned Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, so I'm like, oh, that's right, that's unfortunate. Lucky for me, they didn't have anything, so now I'm on 600 life points and a Dream, but I do have my 1-card starter, Snake Eyes Ash. Normal summon Ash, get Poplar, Poplar normal summon, and we do have Call By specifically for the Droll and Lockbird. That was huge. So banish that, and they're gone. Sadly enough, that was their only form of disruption. Thank God. You know, looking over these duels, it really is unfortunate that most of my grind games I lose to just because I don't know the grind game matchups with these certain things. Like this 6-turn duel here is against a Snake Eyes deck. This guy just had more recursion, and he actually does run the Borreload Savage Dragon in the extra deck, and an Anima. Oh right, because it takes 1 level 1 monster. Oh, that's actually smart. Maybe I should consider running Anima. Maybe I can cut down 1 Hida. Either way, this deck is far from perfect. My variant, I mean. So let's go in and see and analyze this duel to see if we could play it any better. You know, I don't like just showing... If I have a loss, specifically that's a long game, it really provides some insight. See if there was a way around this. So no form of disruption going second, but they bricked, it seems. And we pull Maxi. Okay, so already off the bat, Poplar was probably the best one. If anything, we could have Birch normal summoned, Wear Arf without to search a Poplar effect, but I think I wanted to see if he was actually on a Maxi, but no disruption. Shall we grab Veiler off this because I feel like I don't have enough disruption. There's the Maxi. Do I play into this? Grab Jet Synchron, and we don't, because we have our own Maxi and a Veiler. We shotgun our Maxi, and everything's fine. We seem to be chilling, and they pass because they don't want to give me any cards. Now, they should have a starter in there. Another Maxi. Maybe they did brick. Okay, but this is turn 4. I have to play through 2 Maxis. I do have a Droll, so what I could possibly do is just immediately Droll him here, and I could probably kill him. We get Formula Synchron, we get that, pitch that back, and then that to grab the dragon. But then I get nibbed. Now the dragon effect, could I have worked past this? I can normally play through Nibiru. What did you have in your... This was the only sad thing. I had no way to summon Asa, so I couldn't target their Maxis in their graveyard. The only thing that sucks, so it's just Link Kuriboh pass. Now surely by now, yes, they do have follow-up. That's quickly met with a Veiler. I do not want Poplar anywhere there. But it did not matter. And they normal summoned their... Normal summoned Droll, so they did have Droll. Interesting. Now this was actually the first deck that I've ran into that runs Sinful Spoils of Subversion. That might actually be pretty nice because it did get rid of the token. And also it's a good way to either bait an interruption or disruption out and forcing that to happen. I might consider playing that, but only as a one-of. Obviously they go for their Oak play. This gets a Dragon. Dragon target that, put that back, and then this is just beatdown. I'm not dead yet. And now that they have their Princess set up and set 1. And top deck Ash, and I know that's nothing, so we Feather Duster. They cross out Send Snake-Eye Ash. That actually is very smart. Because they don't know that that could be my starter in my hand. And besides, they knew I probably had original Sinful Spoils in the graveyard for Snake-Eye Ash. So we go for Oak instead. And that's pretty much all I got. They knew the right way to stop the deck. And 2 Maxis back to back. You can't really break that. Now, I'm going to show you this duel as well, which was against Super Heavy Samurai. Now, after talking with my friend Joker, shout out to the boy, he told me certain choke points of Super Heavy Samurai, and one of them is definitely not letting Scarecrow resolve, because if they don't have any follow-up or continuation after that, it pretty much ends their whole turn. And Droll and Lockbird just hurts their deck so much. And like you saw, we went first, and we just pulled everything disruption-wise. If maybe I had all that and a singular Snake-Eye Ash, I would have been chilling. I'm going to show you the biggest misplay of my life. It's not activating Max C. That's fine, because this is where a huge hand trap and disruption combo begins. We activate Max C, they activate Gamma. I activate my own Gamma. They then chain Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. I follow that up with Call by the Grave. I really want this Max C to resolve. So now I'm left with Droll and Lockbird and Infinite Impermanence in my hand. Or, Impermanence on the field, Droll and Lockbird in my hand. And this is the unfortunate part. I get Driver out of the deck, so that's good. Maxi resolves. And the second I see it's Super Heavy Samurai, I'm like, okay, now I have an option. Do I Duel or not? Duel stops the entire deck. His turn will end. And if I draw a starter, I automatically win. I thought that was the best play. Lo and behold, off of the top deck, that is not the case. Don't have Where Art Thou. Don't have anything to go into aside from a normal summon Veiler into Linkuriboh. The smarter thing would have been to let him combo a bit, and then on like the third or fourth ad, I could then Droll him. Because that would just shut him down somewhat. Like, Droll just shuts down the deck because you have to search constantly. So he's comboing off now. And at this point, I messaged my buddy. I'm like, hey, you play Super Heavy Samurai. Is there any way to stop the disruption? I should have stopped. I should have not impermed that. I should have waited for him to activate Scarecrow and then impermed him. Because he just has a lot. Now pay attention to Super Heavy Samurai Soul Pierce Maker. This guy, this card helped him. Because we stopped Scarecrow. So now he's stuck with this on the field, right? At least that's what I was told. You negate Scarecrow, they're stuck. Not unless they have Soul Pierce Maker. Because then they can target their Scarecrow, destroy that alongside it, and special summon. This was their extension. And once I saw them go into actual Synchro Stardust Dragon, they're going to go straight into Baron off this. They're going to go into Borlo Savage Dragon. And that's pretty much where I decide to leave. Because this is two Omni negates, mind you. Also mixed in with anything else, and the fact that they're on Fallen of Albaz, that's wild. And they take my Called by the Grave. So, like, that is 1, 2, 3 disruptions at a bare minimum, because I do not understand exactly what Super Heavy Samurai does, aside from set up Omni negate boards. So that's the unfortunate part. So now that you have the knowledge of how I just took an L with that because of Soul Pierce Maker, let's watch this one. This one has obviously a different outcome. When hopping into the ranked match, when I was 1 win away from Master 5, you can tell that it was an intense duel straight from the gate, because I noticed that both of us win and you rank up. Going into this was both our rank up match. So you can imagine that we tried our best to just not surrender unless it was just pointless. So they're doing the traditional line. I see that they grab Soul Piercer. But I don't see Soul Pierce Maker anywhere off the search. He decides to grab Motorbike, and then Motorbike's effect, he gets to add Super Heavy Samurai Wagon. And then he activates Scarecrow. And like I said, the only interruption I have is Infinite Impermanence. Remember I told you the card you could take out, but I keep it in for this very reason? We imperm the Scarecrow. Royal Rare, by the way, looking nice. And this ends their turn. So what my friend said was correct. Imperm the Scarecrow. They're stuck with it on the field. They can't destroy it and get into something else. This is where this gets crazy. I know 2 cards in his hand that he added, which was a Super Heavy Samurai Wagon and another Super Heavy Samurai. What I didn't know that he had Max C. Instantly called by that. And then what was even crazier is what happens next. Right, so Max C doesn't get to resolve, so thank God, because I know that they probably play Nib. So we're going to Original Sinful Spoils away the Jet Synchron to go into Snake-Eye Ash. Activate Ash, only to be met with a Veiler. I have never had the biggest grin from ear to ear before when I saw that Veiler and noticed that I didn't have it in my hand, meaning it was still in the deck. You know what that means? Crossout Designator can banish that bad boy, and then we get the negate. That's why I run it at 1, and I never want to see it in my hand. So we power through both of those, and now it's just a matter of if he thinks I have full combo, and with Poplar grabbing the Temple, we're going to set Oak, and then that's pretty much it. We're going to go into Linkuriboh, not activate Poplar, so we have extension. We're going to get the Dragon from hand, Dragon, to put that in this continuous spell and trap, and let's see, summon Oak. From that, Oak grabs a Jet Synchron, which I can synchro away into Formula Synchron, and that would be Baron. That's it. That is the Master 5 win right there, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys have an understanding of how Snake Eyes works. If anything, I'm probably not going to release the previous one just because those replays were in Platinum and it doesn't really seem like they were interesting enough. But what I'm still going to do is I'm still going to grab the combo from that video that I pre-recorded and put that in at the end of this video. So right now you guys are going to go see the combo video. So right now I'm going to show you guys an introductory combo to the deck, especially when you're going first. Now this is going to be in the solo mode, obviously, so we're going to assume that the opponent has 0 interruption, which sometimes they do, and sometimes they have a singular Ash Blossom or the best card in the game, Max C. Konami, please, Master Duel, please ban that. You've been banning it in events, ban it now. Okay, this is mildly inconvenient, but the fact that I don't fear any hand traps, we're just going to go ahead and start with Diabellestar, sending the called by. Off the Diabellestar special summon, we're going to trigger her effect to search out a spell. We're going to grab Original Sinful Spoil. This is the one if we don't open Ash. If we don't open the normal summon, we can simply just activate Original Sinful Spoils, pitch Diabellestar, special summon Ash. Ash will allow us to get our Poplar. I'm ignoring the fact that I opened one of them, which was unfortunate. It would suck if I opened both of them. But since Poplar was added to the hand outside of drawing it, we can special summon it and grab our Divine Temple of the Snake-Eye. And we're going to go ahead and activate that. Place a card face up. I always go for Oak, because that sets up my Reborn when I Flamberge Reborn this. And we're just going to go ahead and start doing this generic combo that I've learned, which is Poplar into Linkuriboh. Poplar's effect will want to trigger. We do not want to do that. And we could still normal summon here, which is really good because you're doing I want to say this right now. You're doing all of this without normal summoning, by the way. So we activate Ash to target Oak to send both of them away to go into Flamberge. Now we don't do anything with this here. Ideally what I want to do now is I want to normal summon Jet Synchron. Now what I do here, I'm going to have to go into my Hida. Ideally if I had another monster I would go into IP before this, but I want to go into Hida just so I don't have to... I guess if I did make IP, I could always Oak, Reborn the Jet Synchron so you don't have to Jet Synchron, pitch 1, discard 1 to special summon it back. But it's fine either way. No way is truly definitive over the other one. I just realized that that was also another route. But this way we have a ton of bodies. We could just start going into this. I can probably use Oak. It doesn't really matter because they're all level 1 fires. Really doesn't matter. We make Formula Synchron. Formula Synchron will activate. We're going to draw a card off this. That is a really good top deck, honestly. And we also have... Oh, right. We don't have that. Ideally, if you did the Diabellestar stuff, if you had wanted to grab Diabellestar, discard to get original, you can also wanted banish itself, target Original Sinful Spoils, put it back into your deck, and then draw a card. Good Ash bait if I'm going to say that. Now we're going to go ahead... Oh, wait, actually. I'm going to go ahead and use these two for an IP Masquerena. Have the follow-up. And we can also use Poplar here to put itself in the continuous spell and trap zone for Divine Temple and the Snake-Eye, and also for Flamberge for the opponent's next turn, because you just have follow-up upon follow-up for interruptions. And you can put bodies on board, more for the Apollosa, if anything. Now we can use IP Masquerena and Hida to make Promethean Princess. I think I might have messed up here a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. But that's okay, because we're gonna use Promethean Princess to reborn the Flamberge Dragon. And we still do have the Jet Synchron effect, so if I really wanted to just pitch the other Snake Eyes Poplar because I don't need it in my hand, it's pretty much dead in my hand. Before we do anything with this, we will use Flamberge's effect to put IP in the continuous spell and trap zone. We're going to use this to link off Jet Synchron and Promethean Princess to go into our Amphibious Swarm Ship. And then that frees up the fire restriction so we can finally end on Baron de Fleur. There's most likely a quicker way to get Baron out. I just haven't found it just by playing the deck. But normally people when they're going to nib you, if they don't know the Baron, if you If they don't think you're going to go for Baron, then this is pretty much what you're going to end on. So we have Droll, Ash, Baron, Amphibious Swarmship. We have the interruption of the Promethean Princess. Let's just see. I'll let them play out. So Malicious Bane, right? Now we have a few things. Divine Temple of the Snake Eye. We've IP Masquerena forward. Let's go ahead and do that because they special summon something, so we can go ahead. And they activated something. Let's just say this is something to bait out a Baron Negate. Now, Baron Negate that, destroy it. And then he's going to go ahead and activate this to where it destroys all of our monsters. Which actually, this is a good match to do this. Then we're going to IP and just go away with all of these into an Apollousa. Malicious Bane can't destroy that. Foolish Burial, we're going to Ash that. This is actually like a decent way of playing through like a lot of disruptions. If they were kind of smart, they could always put that in attack and then beat over the Apollousa so we wouldn't have the Apollousa. Now, if I had an additional monster, I would have had Flamberge on the field. And then I would have had Poplar, and then I could keep everything, and I still would have the Promethean Princess to destroy the set card in one of mine to bring it back. But that's okay. Let's put back Poplar, because we have Ash in our hand, and let's go ahead and add Birch. This is just for a follow-up combo, if anything. So now, since we have Poplar in our deck, we just Ash, search out the Poplar, and it's pretty much the same follow-up combo. This is just a way to kill them. Poplar, do that. And Birch, we can just do that if we so wish. And then we can pretty much go into... Oh, you know what I could have done? I should have held Birch for Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf, but... Now here's where the thinking starts, because I want to kill him, right? Just get rid of Apo. Charmer. Armor. Bring up this zone for Sunlight Wolf. This is pretty much an interesting combo to do, because my Promethean Princess didn't get the follow-up because I locked myself out of it. Now we simply do that. Not going to activate Poplar. We're going to put Promethean Princess back, and that will free her up so we can go into her again. This will bring the Flamberge Dragon back. So what we want to do, and that's essentially why Sunlight Wolf is also there, we want to get Promethean Princess back into the combo as best as we can. It's very difficult once she's banished or you cannot get her back. It's unfortunate. Can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. Didn't say anything about putting you in the spell and trap zone, see? And this is just pretty much how you could be for follow-up. You still have Droll and Lockbird. We have the dragon here, so we can just do whatever we want, okay? That's the best hand I could ask for, honestly. Ash with Diabellestar and original. So I'm just gonna go through some small things. Didn't matter about that drawing a card. That is good. Okay, now I can tell you about the wanted stuff that I can tell you about Great Friend Ashbait. So wanted, we grab the Diabellestar. Considering we have a second one, we don't need her. I would argue the fact that we don't need Gamma in hand because we have a monster on the field. I would actually say it's a good thing because this actually came up in a game. So someone decided to hold Max C because the inherent special summon, you can't respond to it because it's an inherent summon. Similar to Cyber Dragon. And Sprite cards. You know, the very same. My opponent Max C'd me here when Diabellestar was no longer on the field. That frees up Gamma. And that's just honestly the best extension I could have asked for. Now there's no monsters to where we can extend off of anything in their graveyard, but that is okay. Poplar, we're going to grab the temple. Oh, what do you do? Oh, that does literally nothing. I thought that was gonna destroy it. I'll be like, all right. Gonna place a card. Now here's a fun thing, right? Remember I told you? Activate Wanted Engrave, banish it, target original Sinful Spoils, draw a card off that. That is not good. That could have been a lot better. That could have been all. It's fine. We're gonna go with the Link Kuriboh, not activating Poplar because I want to reborn it with the Oak. Send you in the Oak. We're gonna get the Dragon, of course. Nothing in the grave that we can use, so this would be a Hida again. It comes out, activate Flamber's Dragon. We're gonna target you and Oak. It doesn't matter which two. It doesn't matter which zones I special them into. Jesus. Okay, Oak to target the third one. We're going to summon it. Kuriboh, just doing the checks here. Now, we don't really need to make IP because we're going to kill him. So what we do pretty easily is we're going to make the Promethean Princess. That's way off. Not that much, actually. Make the Promethean Princess with you and you. Let's attack. And this literally doesn't matter at this point. That's just for follow-up because we're going to end with Flamber's Dragon on the field, period. And by that point, we're over 9,600, right? If you really wanted to, and I mean if you... I mean, it wouldn't matter because Snake Eye stuff does get stronger. See. Is this game? 2,700, this should be 5,000 easy. Yep, and that's simply game. You know, if they had any disruptions like Maxi, we had Ash, we were ready for it. We had Gamma on top of that as well, because a lot of people like to Maxi in the draw phase because they have to respect talents and thrust. Well, I hope that was insightful for you guys. If you guys want to pick up Snake Eye before they hit it on the ban list, they might. I don't know how Konami wants to hit this for consistency. Maybe make Wanted to 1 or like our best normal summon to 1 or something. I don't know how that's going to happen. Thank you guys so much for watching. Definitely let me know your favorite deck that you're running in Master Duel right now. Is it Super Heavy Samurai? Is it, oh, I don't know. You got Crimson Dragon so we can Calamity Lock like crazy. I'm surprised I didn't run into any of that. Well, I ran into Manadium that utilized Crimson Dragon for Bestial Dispatter, and that was the most I was willing to see out of that combo deck. It could be Manadium, maybe you like running that, but for me, it's definitely Snake Eye. It got me from Diamond Plat 5 into Master 5. I'm not going any higher. I might in my spare time, but it's pointless for me. I'm in Master. That's all that matters.